When Zena, a beautiful and ambitious lounge girl in Lagos, agrees to perform a disturbing act for a billionaire's money, she believes it's just business. But her world quickly unravels as nightmares, spiritual attacks, and a vanishing reflection reveal the truth. Chief Barima is no ordinary man, but a dark spiritualist who feeds on women's essence for power. Desperate to escape his grip, Xena turns to an ancient seer and uncovers a terrifying ritual she unknowingly became part of. Now, she must fight for her soul before she loses everything, including herself. This is a haunting folktale about greed, lust, and the true cost of dirty money. Xena sat frozen, staring into the mirror that no longer held her reflection. Behind her, Tiga called her name repeatedly, but the sound felt distant, like echoes from another world. Her chest tightened as the air around her grew heavier. Then, the mirror trembled slightly, and a shadow appeared in the glass. It wasn't hers. It was darker, bolder, and it moved even though she was completely still. The shadow turned its head and whispered, "You called him. You opened the door." Xena screamed and shattered the mirror with a wooden stool. Glass rained down, but the reflection was gone. Tika rushed in, her face pale. "You need to leave this apartment. Now." But it wasn't that easy. Xena had nowhere else to go. They called Mama Ethan again, and the old woman warned them, "He's marked you. Your breath, your steps, even your tears are tagged. Unless we sever the soul thread he tied to you, you'll become part of him, forever." "How do I cut it?" Xena cried. Mama Ethan's voice was solemn. "You must return to where it began. To the bed where you gave yourself. And you must leave something behind that belongs to your blood." Xena's stomach turned. She knew what that meant. She had to go back to Barima's house again. Tika touched her hand. "This is madness." Xena nodded. "Yes. But madness is better than being his prisoner." That night, Xena sent Barima a voice note. Her voice was low, seductive, trembling just enough to sound vulnerable. "I want to see you again. I need you." The bait worked. Barima sent his driver at midnight. As Xena sat in the back of the car, her stomach churned. She had a small razor blade tucked into her bag, and in her purse was a tiny bottle of her menstrual blood, as instructed by Mama Ethan. The mansion loomed even darker this time. The air itself felt cursed. Barima met her at the entrance, smiling with a glass of red wine in his hand. "You came back," he said, voice smooth like poisoned honey. They made their way to the same bedroom where it all began. Xena feigned desire. She undressed slowly, her eyes searching for a place to act. Barima pulled her into bed, but just as he leaned in to kiss her, Xena excused herself and rushed into the bathroom. Inside, her hands trembled. She uncapped the vial and poured the blood onto the blade, whispering the chant Mama Ethan had taught her, "I return what was taken. I break the thread. I free my soul." Then she hid the razor under Barima's bed and rejoined him. "You okay?" he asked, suspicious. She nodded. "I just wanted to freshen up." They slept together that night. She didn't cry, didn't flinch. She played her part, and when he finally slept, snoring softly, she slipped out of bed, grabbed her things, and vanished into the night. Back at Mama Ethan's shrine the next day, the old woman received her with fire in her eyes. "It is done," she said. "Now we wait." Xena began to breathe again. Her body felt lighter, her dreams returned to normal, and for the first time in weeks, she laughed at a joke on her phone. But on the fourth night, something changed. She woke up gasping for air. Her chest felt like it was being sat on. She turned to her side and saw a figure in the dark, tall, faceless, and pulsing with shadows. "You broke the bond," it growled. she screamed. Tiga rushed in with a lantern, but the figure vanished. Mama Ethan was summoned again. The old woman arrived with cowries and a goat tail, scanning Zena's room like a hawk. "This is not him," she said grimly. "It is what he sent, the Watcher." Zena blinked. "What does that mean?" "He can't touch you yet," Mama Ethan explained, "but his spirits can. If you truly want to end this, it's no longer just about escaping. It's about defeating him." Zena hesitated. "How?" "You must destroy the source of his wealth, the buried item that fuels his rituals." Tiga raised an eyebrow. "And where is it?" Mama Ethan looked directly at Zena. "You must ask him. Not with your mouth, but with your spirit. There is a ritual of dreams. Dangerous, yes, but it might be your only way." Zena had faced nightmares before, but nothing like this. She nodded slowly. "I'll do it." That evening, the ritual began. Mama Ethan drew chalk symbols around Zena's bed and placed herbs beneath her pillow. "You will sleep, but your spirit will wander. Speak only when spoken to. Take nothing. Touch nothing. Ask for the source, and when you see it, remember what you saw." Zena lay down, heart pounding. Tiga held her hand until her eyes shut. Then her spirit left her body. She found herself in a strange forest, lush, dark, and humming with whispers. At the center was a throne made of bones. Barima sat on it, surrounded by weeping women, all of them naked, all of them headless. He didn't see her. Not yet. She stepped closer. Suddenly, he raised his head. His eyes locked on her. "You've come far, Zena." She couldn't speak. Her mouth was sealed. "You want to see it? Fine." He raised his hand. The earth before him cracked open. From within rose a black sculpture, a phallic idol carved from stone, covered in red cloth and human teeth. "This is my source," he said, smiling. "Fed by girls like you. Loved by spirits older than the land." Zena stared, memorizing every detail. Barima leaned forward, whispering, "Now that you've seen it, you belong here." He grabbed her wrist, but she screamed and jerked awake. Back in her room, Mama Ethan caught her just in time. Zena gasped, "I saw it. I know where it is." Mama Ethan nodded. "Then we can end him." Zena led Mama Ethan and Tiga deep into Barima's compound using a route she'd memorized from the dream. Beneath the marble floors and manicured lawns, under an unused gazebo near the back fence, lay the ground she saw crack open in her vision. They came at night, cloaked in wrappers soaked with herbs and palm oil. Mama Ethan began chanting as they dug, the earth resisting them with eerie stiffness, like flesh instead of soil. The deeper they went, the stronger the stench, rotting flowers and burnt blood. Then they found it. Just as she saw in the dream, a stone idol shaped grotesquely, wrapped in red cloth and adorned with human teeth. It pulsed faintly, as though breathing. Zena stepped back. "That's it." Mama Ethan removed a gourd of blackened palm oil, mixed with the blood of a black goat sacrificed earlier. She poured it over the idol, her chants intensifying, calling on the ancestors to come forth and consume the evil. Thunder cracked in the sky, though the night was cloudless. Suddenly, the idol screamed, a high-pitched, agonizing wail that echoed through the compound. The ground shook. A shadow burst out of the hole and fled toward the main house. Mama Ethan shouted, "It's him. He's weakening." But the fight wasn't over. Back in his mansion, Barima screamed and clutched his chest. Blood poured from his nose, ears, and eyes. His staff panicked, rushing for help, but no one could touch him. His skin burned at every contact. In his private prayer room, mirrors shattered, candles burst into flames, and ancestral masks wept blood. Barima fell to the ground convulsing, his body contorting into unnatural angles. A black mist poured from his mouth, forming the image of the idol, now burning in the pit Zina had exposed. Zina, Mama Ethan, and Tiga burst into the house, guided by the fading screams. They found him writhing beside a shrine of bones and bloodied panties, trophies of the women he'd destroyed. Mama Ethan raised her staff. Your time has ended, Barima. You used women's pain to buy your power. Now, they come to take it back. Behind her, ghostly figures of the headless women from the dream appeared, surrounding Barima. He reached for Zina, sobbing. Please, help me. Zina looked into his eyes and whispered, You took my peace. This is justice. The spirit swarmed him, dragging him into the shadows. And then, silence. Barima was gone. The next morning, Mama Ethan performed the final rites in Zina's room. She burned the last of the blood-stained herbs, washed Zina's head with coconut water, and chanted prayers of freedom. You are whole again, she declared, placing a white cloth on Zina's shoulders. Your shadow now walks with you. Zina wept silently. The weight she'd carried for weeks had lifted, but scars remained. Tiga sat beside her. We made it. You're free. Zina nodded. But so many others didn't. News of Barima's mysterious disappearance spread fast. His business empire crumbled. Rumors swirled, curses, madness, spiritual attack. But no one dared speak the full truth. Zina knew better. She quit the lounge, deleted her old clients, and moved to a new neighborhood with Tiga. Her dreams were quiet now. Her reflection returned. Her smile, hesitant but real, came back. But she never forgot. And she never went near that kind of wealth again. Months later, Zina stood before a small group of young girls in a local foundation run by Mama Ethan's daughter. They were bright-eyed, eager, and poor, the same place she once stood in. She shared her story, not every detail, but enough to leave an imprint. She ended with one line. Anything you suck for money might suck the life out of you. The girls gasped. Some laughed nervously. Others listened with wide eyes. Outside, the city lights flickered as another sugar daddy's car drove past. But inside, a new fire had lit. Zina turned to the window and whispered to herself, Let this be the last time a girl pays for money with her soul. The end. This story teaches that quick wealth gained through immoral or compromising acts often comes with hidden, devastating consequences. Desperation should never cloud judgment, because not all that glitters is gold, and some gifts are traps in disguise. When you trade dignity for money, you may unknowingly sacrifice your peace, your freedom, or even your soul. Ultimately, it reminds us to value self-worth, to be wary of tempting shortcuts, and to understand that some prices are too high to pay, no matter how luxurious the reward seems. Thank you listeners for listening to the end of this story. I'd really appreciate it if, after enjoying this story, you could take a moment to like, share, subscribe and leave a comment. Your support means a lot and helps encourage me to keep sharing more stories. Bye.